Did you know that some of our most cherished Christmas traditions, the ones we look forward to every year, actually have surprisingly deep scientific, psychological, and even biological roots? You might think Christmas is all about religion, family, and culture. And of course, it is. But behind the sparkling lights, the smell of pine, and the jolly figure of Santa Claus, there's a fascinating web of human behavior, brain chemistry, and historical evolution that explains why we celebrate the way we do. So today on Evano, let's unwrap the science behind Christmas traditions and discover how our brains, our bodies, and even our ancestors have shaped the modern holiday season in ways you've probably never imagined. Let's start with something we all recognize: the Christmas tree. There's something almost primal about bringing a tree into the house and decorating it with lights and ornaments. But why do we do it? The answer goes far beyond aesthetics. Psychologists say our attraction to evergreen trees during winter likely taps into an ancient human instinct to find signs of life and resilience during the cold, dark months. Evergreen trees stay green when everything else dies or hibernates. They represent hope, endurance, and the promise of return, a subconscious reassurance that spring will come. Studies in environmental psychology show that even just looking at green, living things can reduce stress, lower blood pressure, and improve mood, all things we crave during the darker winter months. So when you look at a Christmas tree, you're not just seeing decoration, you're experiencing a psychological response thousands of years in the making. And what about the lights? We string them across trees, rooftops, and windows. It's beautiful, yes, but it's also deeply symbolic. The winter solstice, which occurs just before Christmas, marks the shortest day and longest night of the year. For early humans, this time was associated with darkness, danger, and uncertainty. Celebrating light in the darkest time of the year isn't just cultural, it's biological. Exposure to bright light stimulates the production of serotonin, a neurotransmitter that boosts mood. In modern times, this is the same principle behind light therapy, used to treat seasonal affective disorder, a type of depression triggered by reduced sunlight in winter. So when we cover our homes with glowing lights, it's not just festive. It's a scientifically backed way of lifting our spirits and regulating our mood. Now let's talk about one of the most iconic symbols of Christmas: Santa Claus. You might be surprised to learn that the modern image of Santa, the red suit, the white beard, the sleigh pulled by reindeer, is a fairly recent invention, popularized in the 19th and 20th centuries. But the underlying concept of a generous figure delivering gifts to children goes back centuries and appears in many cultures. From a psychological perspective, Santa plays an important role in childhood development. Belief in Santa encourages imagination, abstract thinking, and the ability to distinguish fantasy from reality, all essential milestones in a child's cognitive growth. But there is more. Studies have found that the anticipation of a reward, like a visit from Santa, triggers the brain's dopamine system. It's the same system involved in motivation and pleasure. So the joy and excitement children feel during the lead-up to Christmas, that's dopamine in action. And it's not just for kids. Adults feel it too, when planning gifts, decorating the house, or preparing a special meal. The anticipation, not just the event itself, is a scientifically powerful mood enhancer. Gift-giving, in fact, is one of the most universal traditions of Christmas, and it's deeply rooted in human psychology. Neuroimaging studies have shown that giving gifts activates regions of the brain associated with pleasure and social bonding, even more than receiving gifts does. That's right, your brain actually gets more of a reward from giving than getting. This ties into the concept of altruism and reciprocal relationships. Humans are social creatures, and giving helps strengthen bonds, build trust, and reinforce group cohesion. That's especially valuable during winter, when historically, survival depended on strong community ties. So gift-giving isn't just about materialism. It's a scientifically validated method of building relationships and boosting emotional well-being. Let's not forget about food. Christmas is practically defined by indulgence: cookies, roasts, chocolates, spiced drinks. It's no accident that food plays such a central role in the holiday. From a biological perspective, eating high-calorie foods in winter is a survival mechanism that dates back to pre-modern times. In colder climates, our bodies needed to store fat to get through the lean months. Today we don't face the same scarcity, but the impulse remains. And there's a chemical reason behind those cravings too. Foods rich in sugar and fat stimulate the release of endorphins and dopamine, creating a temporary feeling of euphoria. That's why a bite of gingerbread or a sip of hot chocolate can feel almost magical. It's triggering your brain's reward system in a very real, very powerful way. And speaking of smells and tastes, let's talk about nostalgia, because that's one of the most powerful emotional forces at play during the holidays. Research in neuroscience has shown that smell, more than any other sense, is closely linked to memory. The scent of cinnamon, pine, or baked cookies can instantly transport us back to childhood. This is because the olfactory bulb, which processes smells, is directly connected to the amygdala and hippocampus, areas of the brain involved in emotion and memory. That's why Christmas often feels so emotional, so deeply personal. Our traditions are hardwired into our senses, and when we experience them again, they reactivate memories, not just mentally, but emotionally. It's like reliving joy from the past in real time. Even the music we hear during Christmas has a psychological effect. Holiday songs often use major keys, predictable melodies, and simple rhythms, all of which are associated with feelings of happiness, safety, and familiarity. But repetition also plays a role. The more we hear something, the more we tend to like it. A phenomenon known as the mere exposure effect. That's why, even if you've heard the same song 100 times, it still feels comforting when December rolls around. Your brain has been trained to associate it with warmth, family, and celebration. Now, what's truly fascinating is how all these traditions, the trees, the lights, the music, the food, the gifts, converge into one big psychological and social phenomenon: ritual. Human beings are ritualistic by nature. Performing the same actions year after year creates a sense of stability and predictability in a world that often feels chaotic. And science confirms this. Studies have shown that rituals, even simple ones, can reduce anxiety, improve focus, and increase feelings of control. During the holiday season, when emotions run high and the year comes to a close, these rituals help us process transitions, reflect on our lives, and connect with others. They give meaning to time, turning ordinary days into something special. So when we celebrate Christmas, we're not just following traditions. We're participating in a complex, beautiful dance of biology, psychology, history, and community. We're lighting up the darkness, literally and metaphorically. We're building connections, triggering joy, and anchoring ourselves in memories. And that's why Christmas continues to matter, across generations, across cultures, and across continents. Thanks for joining me today on Evano. If this gave you a new perspective on the season, stick around. We've got more science, stories, and ideas coming your way. Until then, may your holidays be merry, bright, and just a little more meaningful.